Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is DS.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
We have a very special guest today. Do you want to introduce her?
I do. She's my opponent, my partner, my friend, Moxie Molly.
Hi!
Yay! Welcome!
Thank you, I'm so happy to be here.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a redhead, I'm a Ravenclaw, and I'm a wrestler.
How long have you been wrestling for?
Almost 6 years.
Wow, what's your finisher?
It depends if I'm being a good guy or a bad guy. So if I'm a baby face, it's a eat the feet, and if I'm a heel, it is a... Oh my god, I just forgot it. It's Triple
pedigree.
H's. Pedigree, sorry. I've been hitting the head too much.
I'm like, I just took this move.
So let's jump right into this week's news and rumors. WWE Draft.
It's back.
Honestly, a little funny because wildcard rule.
I know, it doesn't
I
even
like
matter.
the wild card.
What?
It spices things up.
What's the point of the brand split then? Like, it kind of diminishes the Raw and SmackDown versions of it.
I hear what you're saying, but I politely disagree because
Oh my god, you're the most polite guest.
So nice.
because like if things get a little bit dry, you need a little sriracha to spice things up.
Well, so we have a news on wildcard coming up, so we're gonna talk about that soon. Next month, WWE Draft is coming back, so they're gonna like draft everyone around. Fox deal,
Yeah.
SmackDown's going to Fox, Raw is gonna stay in USA, and NXT is coming to USA, so it's gonna be a huge draft. The 2 episodes of WWE Draft is gonna happen October 11th and 14th. 11th is the Friday, SmackDown in Las Vegas, and it's gonna be followed by 14th, Raw in Denver. So the big question here is that what's gonna happen to NXT? Is NXT now considered main roster?
I think I read a long time ago it's alternative roster.
Oh!
Yeah, it's alternative talent, I think.
The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that superstars will be still getting the call-ups to the main roster, to Raw, SmackDown. NXT will basically run the same way it used to be before. There is also news that tons of NXT superstars don't want to leave NXT, so that's gonna be interesting. You know how like when call-ups happen, we saw like NXT superstar like cry?
Yeah, I'd be like, no.
But now they're gonna be like, no!
I kind of get it because when you're in NXT, you have a pretty sweet deal. Like, you have a great crowd, you don't have to travel, but you still get almost like all the like glory of it being on the main roster. But
Yeah.
obviously being on the main roster, like way more traveling, way more out and about and stuff. But then again, you're on the main roster,
Exactly.
so
I think you also see that like in NXT when the talent gets called up, they aren't as prevalent as they are in NXT, so it's almost like you've worked your way up to the top only
Yeah.
to get to the bottom of the totem pole again.
Like,
So I don't
work your
really
way back up.
blame them.
Any predictions on the women that will get called up from NXT?
I hope it's Shayna Blazer because I
I
feel
was
like
just about to say that, and I've heard rumors that Ronda's coming back soon. And honestly, if we're going like shoot in real life, like those are the only two that can really go at each
Agreed.
other and battle it out.
I hope WWE try to save the women's tag team division and call up the VXT, the Higher, and maybe I guess the Horsewoman. I think those would be
Yeah.
really good choices.
plus I think Shayna has done everything she could in NXT.
We're so done with that.
Totally.
Being the champion, we're so done.
Like, okay, we get it, you're a badass.
Going back to the wildcard rule, according to Wrestling Observer Radio, they are finally doing the hard split, and they're gonna end this wildcard rule, especially
Good.
especially now that there will be in 2 different television. They're gonna do the hard split.
Okay.
It's good, I feel like, now that they're going to Survivor Series, which is going to be Brand War. I've never seen anyone so passionate about wildcard rule.
It's kind of cute.
I like it. Like, who doesn't like a wild card?
You love seeing Roman Reigns every single.
Okay, he's the only reason I probably don't like the wild card.
Everybody else does.
I mean, he's baller, but like, you can only take too much ice cream before you get a tummy ache.
Right now, we're going to talk like possible potential spoiler, but Fox just revealed their advertisement for SmackDown, and a couple Raw superstars were in this advertisement, which was Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. Especially Becky Lynch wasn't holding a title. There are speculations going around saying that they might be drafting to SmackDown, and Becky might be losing the title.
It's smart. Maybe not to have her lose the title, but it's smart because she's literally probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest female superstar right now. So if we're moving to Fox and we really want to like kick SmackDown and like kick it up a notch, we need Becky Lynch there. We need a little fire, a little Irish.
I think it's a good move because she's super popular. She's really over right now. I think she, quite honestly, doesn't need the title to be as big as she is. So even if she loses the title and she goes to SmackDown, I think it'd be a good move. People will definitely watch for her.
And her fame is just going up into the mainstream area because she is on the cover of October issue of Muscle and Fitness.
Isn't it her and Seth Rollins?
They're together because Roman took the place for the 2K cover.
Yes.
So Seth was like, bring back my girlfriend here. You know, my man.
I really think Becky could have just been on the cover by herself, and they really kind of took some of her. I love Seth. They really took some of like her girl power and like the manness away by, I think, incorporating. She's more than just her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Totally, I agree with that for sure.
And ESPN is doing like tons of This Is SportsCenter spot. Is it like a famous thing?
It is. They've been doing these commercials. I'm a huge sports fan, so
Okay.
I'm like, I'll know all about this when I heard this. I'm like, that's pretty cool. They've been doing This Is SportsCenter commercials for like a really, really long time, and they always put athletes or mascots or somebody of the sports world doing like everyday office stuff. So
Okay.
you have like a mascot doing like copies or like basically a whole bunch of like big athletes doing normal everyday office things. It's really cute. It's quirky.
Is this only like an MVP level people can get in?
Yeah, very known people.
Okay.
So, because for example, I know like the only other wrestlers have been like big names like John Cena and like Stone Cold.
Yep.
So I think for Becky to be included in that, especially being the first women wrestler to be included in that, is pretty cool.
Interesting news about WWE PC because someone sexy was there, I guess. The Smoke Show. Scarlett Bordeaux was reportedly at WWE Performance Center for the Tryout. She's been free agent since she got released from Impact. Even though she was showing up to AAA with Killer Cross, the boyfriend, she wasn't officially appearing anywhere. Scarlett Bordeaux, she could be in WWE.
I think it's interesting. Way back when she was one of the first female faces we saw on that competing company. Are we allowed to say it?
Which one? AEW?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait,
At first, it was
Wait,
like,
what?
oh, was she like, did she do porn or something?
Yeah, I was like,
I'm like, why don't you want to?
you don't work for WWE.
I know, but I didn't want to like.
Did she show up to AEW?
I thought she like did one thing like on their little YouTube thing.
Oh, I mean Scarlett Bordeaux. First of all, I love the name, but the only problem I have is I don't know how to spell it. Bordeaux and Tessmacher. I don't know how to spell it. I was actually really impressed with her run in Impact. I just thought she was one of those like, oh, I'm sexy. I'm just gonna sex sell.
Yeah.
But later in her storyline, they like really turned it into like the wave of feminism, and she was showing that I can be sexy, but I can be powerful too.
I like
and that's
it.
what I was gonna say too. Is that I think at first a lot of people had this connotation about her, like, oh, she's hot, and then, but now she's really coming to her own, being a wrestler. Because she started off here in Chicago. She's from Chicago.
Yeah.
She started at AEW. She built up. I think they're just like as a manager. So seeing her grow as a wrestler is pretty cool. And yeah, it's sure you can be hot and still be a wrestler. You go, girl.
You go, girl.
You go, girl, too.
I mean, it's gonna be a PG version of what she did in Impact, but I'm interested to see. I'm sure Vince is very excited
I'm
for
sure.
this new acquisition. I hope to see her go against Nia Jax because remember she was a squash match for Nia Jax.
Oh, she was.
Yeah. Interesting news about AEW's All Out. Apparently there was a backstage fight. Like for real? According to Square Circle Siren, after the Casino Battle Royale match, Sadie Gibbs and Bea Priestley had a confrontation backstage. Sadie was swinging on Priestley.
Wow.
Have you been on a show with
No,
Sadie? I've been on a show with Sadie, and she's real. Like if you
What do you mean?
like she's like literally the sweetest person, but like I could see her like if you disrespect her, she's not gonna take any shit from you. Like she's a real one.
She seems very intense, and it's funny because I think like Bea Priestley and Sadie Gibbs kind of are like almost similar, but their own different looks. You know, like they're kind of like in the same cool, badass, awesome looking women, but they still have their own personality too. But I would probably put them in like in the same, I don't know, category.
Do you remember their spot in the Battle Royale?
Yeah, where they went back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
Sadie Gibbs trying to like hold her up for a gorilla press.
Yeah, kind of got botched a little bit.
Yeah. My thought actually was maybe it started just an exchange of words about that spot because Sadie does that spot in nearly all of her matches and she looks baller AF. To have like one of your signatures botched on like your big like debut on television, I'd get very upset about that. I don't know if I'd swing on someone, but I'd get very upset.
Given that AEW is like a new company, they might be smart about it and trying to make feud out of it because they're making that Britt Baker concussion situation into a storyline with her and B. Priestley. So maybe they're just trying to be smart and like make this into a story.
Yeah, it's possible. Why not?
There are WWE injury updates. According to the updated injury list, Carmella is now in an injury list.
What happened?
Nobody knows, but she did post on her social media saying that she had a big health scare that shook her world.
Sounds pretty scary.
Yeah.
Seems like less of a wrestling injury and maybe more like just of a health issue maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because I don't think there was anything that was mentioned during like live events or anything.
Also, when was the last time she wrestled?
So someone off the injury list is Tamina.
Yay!
Tamina. Are we excited for her to come back?
Yeah.
I hope they do more with her. I always feel like she's like, oh, and Tamina in the background over here.
Yeah.
So I think they were doing something when they were, what were they called? The Samoan Dynasty, Samoan Destruction.
Samoan Slaughterhouse.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what it was.
Yeah. I was really excited about that team.
Yeah, me too.
It's inevitable that if Nia comes back that they will eventually go one-on-one because like they're both those like bigger people, but like I want them both to come back because I think they're both like, aside from like having to work out all the time, like they're both very much just like raw power human beings. And I think like, I love it. I get so excited when like their strength comes from like their gut.
She never had like a full-on good run.
No.
She had good matches. I think her best matches are like the multi-woman matches, like letter matches. I think she was always pretty cool. But you know, I want to see the full run of Tamina. So
I agree, at least once. Come on, let her see what she can do. I mean, because honestly, we haven't really seen her full potential.
It's her time.
Thank you so much for watching this week's News and Rumor. Where can we find you, Moxie?
You can find me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Moxie Molly. That's THEE.
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter.
Do you have any upcoming matches?
I do. This Saturday, September 14th, I'll be at Mad Hatter Wrestling in Monticello, Indiana. I'll take on Shauna Reed. Shauna has had my jacket since last year, and I'm planning on getting my jacket.
It's getting cold. You need it.
She stole it?
Yes! This is the fourth company that we wrestle at for my jacket that she stole.
This coming Saturday, is it September 14th? I will be at Adrenaline Pro Wrestling, also known as ARW. I will be wrestling Casey Dillon.
Ooh, Casey's awesome.
And you can find me at DS Shin and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. Bye!